Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 4 in my season 1 Let's Play series. Once again, we are going to pick up shortly after we left off the last time. I did manage to go and find a little bit more iron, but as everyone can see, my inventory is incredibly full right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple more chests. And for those of you that don't know, a lot of times you'll see people making chests by turning the oak wood into planks, which, by the way, I did manage to find some oak wood. But there is another way to make chests, and I usually reserve this method for times like now when I know that I'm going to want more than just a couple laying around. See, if we do the oak wood in the same fashion that we would normally do the oak planks, you can see that this is going to give us 4 oak chests. And I think that is going to be plenty for the time being. I just want to be able to actually be able to put things in my inventory away. Generally, the way I do this is I am going to have 3 sets of chests. The bottom chest I normally reserve for things that I'm going to be crafting with if I can. The chest here in the middle, I normally put my foodstuffs. Rotten flesh, sometimes I keep it with the food, sometimes I keep it with crafting stuff. I normally keep it with the food. To start off with, this is going to be my food and plants chest, stuff that I'm going to either eat or going to want to take outside to plant. And then the top chest, I normally reserve for some of the rarer items. I did manage to find some service quartz. I did do a little bit of mining and hunting for stuff. You can see I did find a little bit more iron ore. Things like my ores are going to go up here for now. Coal can go up there. Clay, though, clay and snowballs, once I'm able to sort this stuff out a little bit better, things like this are what's going to end up down at the bottom. My bone meal, the string, things like my flowers here and the oak saplings. This stuff, canola, I'm actually going to end up moving that in probably its own separate chest. Canola is a little bit special, and we'll start tackling that a little ways down the road. But I want to make sure I remember where I put this stuff because it is going to come in extremely handy later. Let's see, my gunpowder can go down here. That's a crafting component. Lily pad. I normally don't keep a supply of lily pads around. So lily pads, I'm probably going to put that in with the outdoor plants and food chest. My spruce saplings can go up there. That happens a lot. I do this a lot. I try to get something and I miss and I end up placing whatever's in my hand. So again, up here is going to be our ores and kind of precious materials. Anything that I'm probably going to be crafting with is going to go down here. Let's see, clay can go down there. All these blocks can go down here for now. And I'm still holding on to 1 seared brick, which here actually very shortly we are going to see why. So, I did get 1 more piece of iron. Where did I put? Could have sworn I had 2 other pieces, but I had smelted up already. There, I see it. Because now it is going to be time for a bucket. And I'll finish sorting all this stuff out later off camera. I'm not going to bore you guys too much with my sorting methods. Everyone kind of needs their own way to sort, because you're the one eventually that needs to remember where you put things. I'm going to go ahead and craft our bucket. I love having a bucket. They are incredibly useful. And I know it's nighttime, but I'm going to just hijack my seared tank here real quick, and we are going to head down to that nice little lava pool. And again, those of you that didn't see that, I have a nice little stone pressure plate here. The door will open automatically and close automatically now, which I'm a big fan of automation. And although it doesn't really do a whole lot, we have started automating. So I'm gonna call that a win. That's how I spend most of my game time. I like to automate things, especially the things that I find tedious. I'm just going to set that there for now. And this will hold 4 buckets of lava. It will retain this lava when I break it again. There is no indication that it retains its liquid. However, when I place it back down, you will see that it is, in fact, still full with all 4 buckets. And we are going to be grabbing our bronze and our tin and some clay. I'm going to show you a nifty little trick here to get started with tinkers. We're also going to need a decent amount of wood, so you may see me going out to chop down some more trees here shortly. I did get a fair amount. I think I got maybe 2 or 3 of the oak saplings. I got 3. We will go ahead and plant those while we're outside. Because the oak is generally a little easier for me to work with. I don't know if you guys saw how tall some of those spruce trees were getting. Oak trees can get a little out of control, but for the most part, they tend not to. So they're just a little easier for me to work with. And of course, this is Minecraft, and you guys can play however you want. You know, maybe you feel it's worth the extra bit of trouble. Oh, there's a nasty little skeleton. I'm going to run back inside, as I am not prepared to deal with those guys. Take a little nap. And we're back. Oh, I love that sound. That is the sound of skeletons dying. And you know what? Let's see if I have enough coal in here. I do. I'm going to cook. Oh, that's right. They changed that. You used to be able to cook the bread directly into toast, but they don't let you do that anymore. Let's see if I have any other food in here. I've got 1 piece of mutton left. I've got some potatoes, an apple. I think that's all the rest of the food I have. What do they have up here? I've got potatoes and carrots. I'm going to save those potatoes and carrots. I'm not going to eat those. And the wheat, I can turn that into food, although I am trying to avoid it at this point. I would rather wait until we can get some kind of perhaps a sag mill or another way to grind, because if I can grind this wheat, I'm going to make it be able to go much further, much further. But food, I do need some food right now. My health is pretty low, so I'm going to cook these potatoes up. If you can see the little, I think that's a ham hock that represents how much energy it's going to replenish. You can see that the potato doesn't do quite 1, and the baked potato does about almost 3. And so I'm going to go ahead and take that baked potato out of there. You got my little baked potato here. The rest of the potatoes that I have in that chest, I really want to save to plant, which we'll be getting to shortly. But honestly, I'm getting a little tired of running around without any kind of protection. So what I'm going to want to do is grab my copper and my tin and some clay. We're also going to need some of this clay. And this is where our seared brick is going to come in extremely handy. We'll end up wanting to make a few more of those. But basically what we're going to do is I'm going to put in a little bit of this clay. And you can see at the beginning with this Tinker Smeltery with just the 1 level, there are 9 slots for me to put things in. Oh, that didn't sound happy. Whew. Looks like I lost a little bit of land, but my smeltery is intact, and that is what is important. So that just about nearly killed me, so let's top up our food, and let's see if we can't replace some of this dirt. Man, that was really lucky. You could have just blown apart my smeltery. Got to pay a little bit more attention to the creepers. And I can tell you right now, what I should be doing is going into this claim chunk area, and we're going to go ahead and claim that. And that'll keep them from being able to hurt me like that again. And you know what? Having this down here for now might not be a bad little idea. That may have actually ended up being a decent thing to have happen. That'll work for now. I've got some more dirt on the inside. But basically, I wanted to get this clay going, and if I remember correctly, the reason I wanted to hold on to this brick is because, actually, you know what, I'm going to do this just a little bit different. Just a little bit different. If not exactly a dirt, let's just call it a better idea. Because what I'm going to need is some wood. So let's go chop down some trees. Is what I should do instead of what I was about to do, which was make a single-use ingot cast, which honestly would not have been very helpful. I really just wanted to show you guys that we can use clay to make these one-time use molds. But I think it'll be a better idea to go ahead and get the rest of the tinker tables made, or as a matter of fact, any of the tinker tables made. I think right now the only tinker table I have technically is the crafting station. So we're going to need a little bit of wood. Oh, these berries are awesome. That's going to be nice for food. They don't replenish a whole lot, but they do grow pretty quick, and there are a fair number of them around. So that's going to be really nice. So I'm going to finish chopping down these spruce logs. We don't need a whole lot of them. I think I'll maybe just do one more tree here. And that will probably give me what I need to really get going here with the Tinker's Constructs. Let's see if we can find one more tree. Because what I want to do, I don't know if you guys remember from the previous episode, but I have already found one piece of gold ore, which is going to be fantastic if I can go ahead and get myself some tools that will mine at the diamond level, which is what you need to be able to mine gold and redstone. So let's get started. What we're going to want first and foremost are, of course, some sticks and some planks. But let's see why. Let's see why. Because what I'm going to want are some patterns. Patterns. Here we are. Blank pattern. And that is crafted with 2 sticks and 2 planks. So let's just see how many I can get going. We've got 8, which I believe will get us started. You can see here that's my stencil table. I am going to need some more chests. We'll find out why in a minute. I don't need all of these chests right now, but I will need a few more chests before we're all done. We need a pattern chest. We need 1 log here, and that is going to give us our part builder. And I never can remember how to make the tool station. I think it's just going to be a crafting table. Yes, it's a crafting table with some of the patterns here. And I believe we all remember how to make a crafting table. That's going to be 4 planks in this manner. And there are our tinker tables. These are, in my opinion, this has got to be one of the single most useful mods. And I'm going to go ahead and make another crafting station. Because the cool thing about the Tinkers is that you can connect these tables, and we'll see that here in just a moment. I generally tend to do my tinkering close to the smeltery, so we can clear out just a little bit of this. And what you're going to want to do is this. Oh, you know what? Oh, this is right. We want to put our pattern chest. I usually put that behind my part builder, and we'll see why that is going to be useful here shortly. And another thing I like to do is I also like to make sure there is enough room behind my tables to start. I like to have a chest, a large chest if I can. because now you can see that when I open up the crafting station, I can access the inventory of the chest, just like the one that's inside of our survival hut. But if you see these tabs at the top, without having to exit, I can now access every single one of the tinker tables. And for me, that is just fantastic. So the very first thing I'm going to want to do is we're going to make a pickaxe head pattern, and we're also going to need the binding pattern, and we will also desperately need a tool rod, and I have one blank pattern left. And it's always tough for me to decide which of the tinker tools I really want to make first. And I think what really may end up being more useful is possibly the shovel head, because we're going to be doing a lot of mining. That's really what's going to be coming up here soon. And we can click on this pattern chest, and I'm going to shift left click these into the pattern chest. And you can see how they ended up in there, and they usually leave one empty slot. The pattern chest grows with your needs. And now, when I look at my part builder, you can see that I can access all of those patterns that I just made, which is lovely. I mean, all of this was designed to help speed things up. So what I'm going to do is go and grab a little bit of cobblestone. Those of you that have never used the Tinker's Construct before, believe it or not, if I wanted to, I could actually make all of my tools out of cobblestone. And the way this is going to work, you see one here, it's got a shape that looks kind of like an ingot. It looks a little bit like that seared stone ingot. And then you've got another spot that looks like blocks. It doesn't matter. You can put this in either one, and it is going to give us the results that we desire. Because I'm going to want one of these stone bindings. I'm going to want a stone pickaxe head. Now, I do not want at this time a stone tool rod. What I will want is a wooden tool rod. I'm going to show you a better way to do this. You can pull the tool rods right out of that wood. But what I have discovered is, let's get ourselves a few sticks here, is if you go back to the part builder with your new sticks, it takes 2 sticks to make a tool rod. And you'll discover that this little thing over here is for when there is extra material. And I'm not a big fan of having extra material like shards. They're not that useful. You can make more stuff with them. You can pull stuff out, but you almost always end up with leftover material, even from the shards, which, again, I'm not a big fan of. So that's why I wanted you guys to see how to do that with the sticks. I personally find that to be the best way to get the tool rods. So we've got our stone binding, our stone pickaxe head, and our stone shovel. And we can assemble these things in the tool station. If I click on this little pickaxe over here, you can see that it wants a pickaxe head, it wants a stone binding, and it wants a tool rod. Now, I just happen to know that the durability of a stone pickaxe, I believe, is 100. Oh, it's 131. I take that back. You can see down there at the bottom, durability 20 left out of 131. Hello, Mr. Spider. I was so engrossed in playing with Tinkers that I did not realize it was nap time. So let's run and take a quick nap. And then we should be able to run back over here relatively easily. And you can see why I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother making a stone pickaxe that has one more durability than the vanilla. Man, they're horrible at sneaking up on me. So we're going to go ahead and take these back out of here. And this is why we wanted to use the clay. I know it may come as a surprise. Maybe you didn't see it coming. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our pickaxe head, place it right down there on that table, And this clay is molten, it's ready to go. So let's go ahead and throw in, I believe it is 3. So we've got what, 9 copper? And I'll need 3 of the 10 ore. So we'll have to wait for this to smelt. That's going to have to smelt up before I can add more in there. But this can hold, it looks like 72 ingots. We're using 8. That means 64 ingots are free. We are going to be smelting this. This is going to end up taking up 18 ingots worth of space, which is going to leave us plenty of space to throw in 3 pieces of tin. And once that tin melts in there, we're going to have a wonderful thing happen. And while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and pour our clay over the stone. The stone will disappear. That little stone piece will disappear, but that's okay. I'm not really interested in the stone pickaxe head. And you can see that now our tin and copper are combining, and we are going to end up with a fair amount of bronze. I'm very, very pleased with the amount of tin and copper we found right away. This is probably going to let us build nearly all of our tools. And you know what? Do I have one more piece of copper? I do. I am going to want 1 piece of copper, and I will show you why that is here shortly. Did I manage to get materials in U-Book? I think we may have started off with one. Let's see if I have that. There it is, materials in U. This is going to be your best friend starting off. If you've never used Tinker's Constructs before, if you've never played modded Minecraft before, this is going to be your best friend. And we're going to open that up just by right-clicking it while it's in our hand. And what I'm going to want to look at here are tool materials, I believe. Let's see, let's look at copper. I'm going to use that as the extra, which is in our case going to be the little X looking piece, the tool binding. See that? Well established. Yes, that's exactly what I thought. This is going to give us additional XP as we're mining. So that's why I wanted to have just a little bit of copper. You can see that copper hanging out up there. It's not going to mix with the rest of this bronze. It's only going to mix if I were to throw more tin in there. Because again, it takes 3 copper and 1 part tin. I want to make sure that that bronze is at the bottom. It is. Excellent. See, now we can pour this bronze into that. This is a one-time use. See there, the clay mold disappeared. That's okay. Now I want to place our stone binding in there. I'm going to just left-click that. And see how I put the clay back down at the bottom? The drain is always going to pour out what is at the bottom in our smeltery controller. So when you take a look in there, it's going to show us that the clay was at the bottom. Now this is where you want to make sure that you're very careful to select your copper. Now our copper is at the bottom, and I'm going to pour that directly into our copper binding mold. Again, it is a one-time use, but I don't have any way to mine gold. So there's no way for me to make a permanent mold at this time. You can also make them out of a material called aluminum brass, which I could take some of that bauxite we found and turn that into aluminum and combine that with, I believe it is copper, to get aluminum brass. And I may do that. I may still end up doing that if we don't find more than that 1 piece of gold that we found earlier. So now what I can do is head back over here to my tinker station, and we should already have our tool rod. And pay close attention to what these do. You know, what these little materials do. So let's look at tool materials again, and I'm going to look at wood. And wood for a handle modifier 1, durability 25, not so great. Ecological. Renewable resources are so good they regenerate by themselves. Basically what this means is, while I'm not using the tool that is made with this tool rod, we can shift left click these in, by the way, and they will go exactly where they need to go. And here we go. I love the tool station. It's going to let me name my tool. And I usually name it with the first part of my name here, so I usually go with Darth Pick 1. And you can see that it's got the ecological, the dense, and the well-established modifiers. We've got a durability of 555, and most importantly, the mining level on this is diamond. So we're going to take this out, and now I've got a diamond pickaxe. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately head down and demonstrate how this works. This is exciting for me. This really is. I'm really glad that it worked out so well. Here's our redstone that we could not harvest earlier. That's coming right out of there. And that's pretty quick. That's mining pretty quick. I think, yep, I can get these emeralds now. Fantastic. I've never found emeralds before finding diamonds, so that's kind of nice. Honestly, I do wish we had found some diamonds. If I remember right, there it is. We had one little piece of gold over here. Oh, look at that. That is lovely. That's nice. More good fortune for my first Let's Play series. That is fantastic. I'm really pleased to see that. That's going to make things a little easier for us. I generally tend to clean up after myself. We got some uranium here. We could go ahead and take that, but I want to try to avoid the space becoming an issue. So basically I came down here just to demonstrate how this pick is now able to harvest items that we could not harvest previously, which we've done. I'm even going to be able to go after this resonating ore, which is nice. Put a little cobble there to cover that back up. We can head back up here now, and you'll see why I held on to that seared brick. And this is going to be fairly important. You want to make sure that you have at least one seared brick, because I've seen some players not remember to hold on to that seared brick, and then they end up having to basically waste a valuable piece of an ingot, you know, like iron or some other ingot. What I'm going to do is we're going to throw all of that gold in there. We're just going to go ahead and throw it all in there. No. We're going to take that back out of there. Mainly because I just remembered that this is going to turn into something we don't want. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and get a one-time use. Because I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste that. So let's see. Do I have any patterns left? I don't think that I do. No, I don't. So let's make some more patterns real quick. And again, to make patterns, that was real simple. That's just some sticks and some planks. I believe this will work just fine to get us a couple more. Yeah. There we go. And let's see, stencil table. Let's go ahead and get a sword. Let's do a sword. There we go. To do a sword, we're going to need the sword blade pattern. I generally prefer the broadsword. Some of you may prefer the there's a couple other swords you can make. What is that? The long sword or the rapier. I'm not really a big fan of those. I prefer to have the broadsword. So let's go ahead and put these in our pattern chest, and you can again see how that grows with us. We'll go back to the part builder now. And I love how it tells you down there. See how that was in red for a second? That's letting me know that I don't have enough stone in there to make the item that I want to make. And we're going to put that in there. That only takes one stone. And you can actually leave that in there. That's not going to hurt anything if you leave that in there. I do want to take it out for a second, though. And let's see. My swords, I'll get slightly fancy with that. I think we have enough bone because we lucked out and found that chest that had all kinds of bone in it. Normally, this early in the game, I would not be making this out of bone. I think I may have only needed one. I may have only needed one bone. I did it again. Well, the derps are plenty in this, aren't they? I wish I could blame it on being nervous for doing a Let's Play, and let's take a nap before I get attacked by a creeper or something else. I would love to attribute this to being nervous about doing a Let's Play series, but honestly, I make these kind of derps all the time. I can only hope that it is amusing for you guys to see. So what we're going to do, very similar, we're going to go ahead and use some more of this clay, because honestly, we're not going to be needing a whole lot more of it. So we can go ahead and do that clay there. I believe yeah, we should have plenty of bronze in there. We got plenty of bronze to do our sword blade, this is normally the blade I start with is a bronze blade. And now we can put down our guard. Stone wide guard. We'll get that clay. I think that is going to pretty much wrap up the clay. Yeah, I can hear them, but I can't see them. Not sure where they are. That's all right. And again, I'm going to want to make that out of the copper. That was the whole reason I did this. I'm hoping that is just going to need the one copper ingot. And it is. Excellent. So that got us our copper out of there. And again, the gold would have mixed with that copper to make a substance called electrum, I believe. We may need some of that later, but don't really want it right now. I'm going to go ahead and fill that back in. Because again, these things I'm going to end up raising up because we can add to this smeltery. I don't really need a larger smeltery at the moment, so I'm kind of okay with it just being at the one level. But this is why some people don't inset it, because they like having this at ground level. But I know that later on I'm going to want it insetted. I'm going to want that inset. So I'm willing to kind of put up with this until I can get things the way that I want them. So let's go ahead and make sure that gold is at the bottom, because remember the substance at the bottom there is what's going to come out of this drain. And this is why holding on to the seared brick was so important. Because now you can see that gold is pouring over the seared brick, and look at that. Now I have a permanent ingot cast, which I am a huge fan of. I love that. So this is also why I wanted the chest, because now I'm going to go and get my iron. I'm going to go get that iron. I think, if I'm right, I have just enough iron. I'm going to have just enough iron for that. I didn't really mean to grab that Certus quartz. That's all right. It won't hurt anything. We'll put that iron in there. Iron's not going to combine with gold. It's not going to combine with the bronze. Only certain materials are going to do that. And I don't care about that piece of dirt. I could care less about it. Getting dirt generally is not an issue. I do want this iron to smelt up, though. I only want to do manual ingot making 5 times, where I've got to pour it and then pull it out. I just don't really want to do that. While we're waiting for that to smelt, let's see what it's going to take to make a very useful item. This is one of my favorite items. It is a redstone clock. To make a redstone clock, I'm going to need a redstone torch, which is simply a stick and a piece of redstone. I'm also going to need any stone, which is why I came back in. I'm going to take, I've got 1 piece of stone, but I need a little bit more. It said I needed 4 pieces of stone. So let's go ahead and take a few more pieces of our cobble, and we're going to bake that up into some stone. I can go ahead and make 1 redstone torch. I mean, I got a decent amount of redstone. Kind of like that. Get my redstone torch here. Let's go ahead and clear this inventory back out just a tad. Just a little bit. Don't want to scare anybody, but we need to clear it out just a little bit. Man, my inventory's full. What I will say is I am still really excited to finally be able to do a Let's Play series. You guys have no idea how long I've been wanting to do this. I really enjoy doing it. Need a couple of berries. Look at that. Yeah. And maybe I'll go ahead and eat that last apple. There we go. We got that. That's probably done by now. There we go. Still have my redstone in there. We need clock. What am I missing? Am I missing anything? I am not. Awesome. And what we will need is one more clever little item. A lever. And I am more than prepared to demonstrate why. Now, what we run into here is it doesn't matter. It does not matter what I put here right now. And you'll see why we wanted the lever here. As soon as I put this up here, watch that drain right here. Just watch what happens. See, because I'm sending a redstone signal. Now, it's not going to pour any more out because I don't have a way to automatically remove this. But I will, because I'm going to put this iron down here at the bottom. And see, this is what I meant. I'm going to have to pull these out manually. However, see how that's not on anymore? I flip it up. It says the state is off. That means that it's not turning this off. I don't know. Honestly, I wish it said it was on. I don't know why the off state leaves that on. But if we turn that, if we flip that switch to the on state, it actually shuts this off. So I can pull this out, and nothing else is going to come out of there. Flip it on. Now that iron's at the bottom. Now it's going to automatically pour iron. And there is one iron. Oh, look. It automatically started pouring more because I took that piece out. And what I'm going to want here is 5 pieces of iron. So that's all I'm going to pull out. The 4 pieces of ore that we put in there should give us a total of 8. But I don't want to pull it all out because I'm kind of excited to show you guys what's going to happen here. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to need 1 chest. Definitely 1 chest. But again, I know I'm going to need more chests. So I'm going to go ahead and make more than 1 chest. And I'm going to make a nifty little item that is going to basically completely automate this for us. And it is a hopper. And I mean, there's all kinds of ways to automate the smeltery. See if I can sneak back here. If I just right-click on the chest, it's going to open it. But I really want to place that hopper. And if I just right-click here, it's not going to be facing the right direction. See, that's going to hopper it down. It's going to take the stuff out of there, and it's going to continue pouring more. But it's not really going to be useful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Shift. And that will allow me to place the hopper in such a manner that it will funnel directly into the chest. And now we can see why I went ahead and dug an extra hole under there, because this stuff is pouring directly into my chest. And now guess what, guys? We have a automated smeltery. Now this, the basin is for doing stuff blocks at a time, and this is going to come in handy a little bit later, not right away, but it's going to come in handy fairly soon. And this is exactly why. It's exactly why I left a little spot down there. I don't have enough iron to make another hopper right now, but I will. And I'm going to have the exact same setup on this side. And I'll end up moving some of this stuff. I'll end up moving it because we are going to increase the size of this smeltery. We might not do it right now, but it is something we're going to get to. But we have an automated ingot making system. All of our ores are going to be doubled now. So instead of just getting 1 piece of iron from 1 piece of iron ore, we're going to get 2 pieces of iron from iron ore. Now what this won't double is not going to double things like bronze. That's just not going to happen. That's not an ore. There's no such thing as bronze ore. It's only going to double things that you were able to mine in ore fashion. So it is just about wrapping up time for the episode. We've gone over just a little bit longer, but I want to go ahead and let's get our broadsword made. And to do that, I'm going to go to our part builder. We still have our tool rod pattern in there. We're going to put our bone in there. We need 2 bones to make the bone tool rod. And we're going to select our, the broadsword. And we can shift click these items in there. And look at that. I've got a pretty fancy broadsword. And I love the ability to name these items. So now I've got a pretty fancy little broadsword. I didn't really need to make that because, I've got the ender. But that's okay. And anyway, that is going to wrap it up for episode 4 of our Let's Play series. So this is Darscooter signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for stopping by, and take care.